Thanks, John. Appreciate it. You notice what happens when you leave your car parked outside on a sunny day with the windows all the way up, right? Even if it's not that hot outside, the temperature inside your car goes way up compared to the surrounding climate outside of your car. That's essentially the greenhouse effect. You know about it, right? You learned about it in 5th grade. The heat easily gets in, but it can't get out, which is essentially what's happening to our planet right now. So what do people do? Well, they get thicker windows or they add a dark film to their car, right? Same goes for our bodies. We try and prevent sunburn by wearing sunblock so the sun can't really get in and do damage. Well, think about this. What if we could come up with something like that for our Earth's ozone layer? With more on that concept, News with Rick Sanchez correspondent Michele Greenstein is here to tell us about this. Okay, so it's a new concept. Sounds like the way I described it. What is it?
So this proposal is to use solar geoengineering to reduce temperatures. In essence, it's a way to mitigate some of the risks that climate scientists are saying will come from CO2 emissions. So in essence, it's actually an alternative to lowering carbon emissions. And some see it as a magic bullet in this way, where we can curb the effects of CO2 emissions while continuing to pump millions of tons of CO2 into the air.
But the way I described it was, we need to come up with something that blocks all this from getting in. Is this, how are they going to block it?
Exactly, yes, it is. So this type of geoengineering uses sulfur dioxide. We're going to inject that into the stratosphere. Sulfur dioxide is the stuff that comes out of volcanoes when they erupt. So when a volcano erupts, there's actually a lot of dust and gases that blot out the sun. So these Harvard researchers, these scientists are saying that we can mimic what happens after a volcano eruption to reduce temperatures. And the way they're going to do that is airplanes. They say a fleet of specially designed aircrafts can literally spray sulfur particles into the lower stratosphere, and they're saying, hey, dozens of nations already have the money to do so.
Wait a minute. What you just described is a way of slowing down, if not preventing, global warming?
Yeah, I mean, let's not mince any words. What we're proposing here is launching aerosols into the air. So historically, there's been a problem with this, and critics of this type of geoengineering say, look, no one really knows how to control it with accuracy. This could easily disrupt climates around the world, inevitably leading to winners and losers, with some regions suffering greater harm. But now these researchers are saying it can work without some of those anticipated side effects like extreme rain and hurricanes. They're saying that this work challenges that assumption.
Won't they make it darker? Won't it be like night all the time?
Yeah, and that's the question. Do we have the right to a blue sky?
That's a great question.
That should be a public debate.
What about, finally, I think we're down to like 30 seconds
Sure.
or so, but tell me, how much is this going to cost?
Okay, so these researchers say it'll cost $3.5 billion to launch, and then $2.25 billion every year after that.
Wouldn't that be worth it if it's actually able to slow down global warming?
I mean, true, but do we want to put that kind of power in certain hands? That's all, up for public debate. And, some people are saying, hey, maybe it's cheaper to just bioengineer humans so that we have a conscience, that we stop polluting so much.
Fascinating conversation. I'm glad you brought that to us. That's really good news.
Thank you.
I love it when we can
sure.
share good news with. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.